Welcome to this week's episode of the Changelog. I'm Joe. I'm here with Colin and Jacob. We're both from Solana Foundation's Dev Relations team. And what happened this week?
Yeah, so this past week, the summer camp hackathon closed. There were a lot of really cool projects. What'd you all think of it?
I thought it was fantastic. There was a huge turnout. We had tons of projects. I really wish everybody luck with their submissions, but overall, I think it was just awesome to see that much of a buzz around it.
Yeah, and then another thing that happened this past week was Firedancer was announced, which is a new validator client built in C++ by Jump Crypto. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be really cool to see it as it's being built out.
Yeah, and another thing too that we actually are rolling out from Dev Relations as well. There's a project board on GitHub now that you can go to if you want to contribute to open source educational material. So like we have this board of issues on here. You can add stuff to it for things you want to see. Other folks in the community can add to it, and you can just grab hold of this stuff. You can write examples, you can make tutorials, you can do all kinds of stuff. And then all of that will serve as a resource for tons of people in the community. You guys realize how big of a deal this is. This is going to be awesome. We've already got some buzz too.
And not only that, like what you can do is like you can use this to build tools. You can put issues on, say like, hey, I don't like this about Solana, building on Solana. Can someone else help me? It's really cool. And we will personally just work with you to get it done. Also, there is a proposal that was this past while that was recently drafted, and it was Scrambling Transactions. So what does that mean?
You can probably guess it. It scrambles your transactions. So it's exactly what it sounds like. Your transactions will be scrambled before it hits the network. And this is done to kind of combat against the MEV situation. But to be clear, it's optional. So it's not that all transactions will be scrambled. You as the client gets to choose. And this proposal is still in its draft stages. It's not been accepted yet. So if you want to contribute to it, go check out the proposal on the GitHub.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's other things that were created this past week is that you can now see address lookup tables on the Explorer. So whenever you look up the address that stores a link to one of the tables, you can actually see what's in that table on the Explorer. It's a really cool new feature for the Explorer. Another thing is that whenever you're closing program accounts via the CLI, it's a little bit harder to accidentally close it. So whenever you used to be able to just do like program close and the address and it's done. And being that CLI command is actually very destructive, there is now a new, there's a warning when you try to do it and you have to bypass the warning to actually close it. So it's very good for developer experience.
Sounds like there's a funny story behind that.
Yeah, you can definitely check Discord and see it whenever it was being created.
Yeah, awesome. So also in the resources of the week right now, we've got some activity from Coral. So Coral just dropped a brand new video about Backpack. And you guys catch that video by chance?
Yeah, it's really cool. Armani showing you how to build stuff for Backpack and XNFTs, which there's a lot of people wondering how to do that. And so it's a great resource to have.
Yep, which I think is actually super cool because I think this is the first or one of the first use cases outside of like a profile picture NFT. So really cool to see that.
Yeah, super awesome. And they also, Anchor themselves also released some information about this new Anchor by example repository that they're putting together, which is going to be part of the Anchor docs, but it's a community-led thing. So we're going to have tons of Anchor examples in there. There's already a couple up there, I think, right now. So that'll also help devs out a lot too.
Make sure you check it out, contribute to it, help out if you can.
Yep. Shout out to OXD for leading that front. And that's it for this week's Solana Changelog. And don't forget, if you create any cool resources, tag us on Twitter. And good luck with your summer camp submissions. See you next week.